This is my story of how I became a passport bro. So, most of my life, I've been confined to the United States. And of course, if you know how the dating scene in the United States is, it's really not that good. Most of the women are just not very high quality. Mental health issues, drugs, overweight, obese, ugly. You get the point. Yeah. So, I always knew that I wanted to meet women from other countries. I saw videos of other people doing it. I seen pictures of these chicks, and yeah, I was just really interested in like how beautiful they were. That some of these girls are just, you watch this video of people walking in a certain country and the women are just beautiful, right? Beautiful women everywhere in the streets, walking around. And here in the US, we don't have that. Most of the women are just not attractive. And I did date here in the United States. I had a girlfriend. I've had a few girlfriends, of course, but before I became a passport bro, I had a girl over here in the US, and she was a good girl, but she we just had there was things that I knew that long term that we would not have been good together. I guess I could put it like that. Basically, I knew I didn't want something long term with her because of certain issues with her past. And I did love her and I cared about her, but I cared more about what I wanted, so I dumped her. I got rid of her. This is around the time that I became a full-fledged passport bro. And it all started with me going to Mexico. Now, I went to Mexico with one of my friends a few years ago, and I just remember how beautiful the chicks were. There was so many beautiful women. I was completely obsessed with, how pretty the country was, the culture. And I knew that I wanted to, get with these chicks. You know what I mean? I saw how pretty they were, and I knew I wanted to come back. I knew that I wanted to come back so badly. So eventually I did come back, and this is a story for another video, but the first time I came back, I didn't quite fully know Spanish. This is a tip, by the way. If you know the local language, big help. No matter what country you choose, big help if you know the local language. If you don't know the language, that kind of, it sucks. But I came to Mexico probably like a year after that first time. I went to the city of Guadalajara to meet a girl. I went there to meet a girl that I had been talking to online. And the day before I left to go, she actually started messaging me saying, "Oh, my grandma is sick, don't show up." And I'm like, what the fuck? I planned out this whole trip just to see you, right? And so I'm freaking out, and I'm trying to text her and she's not responding very quickly, and I'm just like in huge anxiety, just like, what the hell? And it was this girl I've been talking to for a few months, and she was saying like, "Come visit me," blah blah blah. And yeah, this chick literally, basically last second, just, I don't know, she got cold feet or something, but she was saying that her grandma was in the hospital or something, which we've all heard that excuse before. It's bullshit, right? So, but I already bought my plane ticket. I already bought the hotel. It was literally the day before I was about to leave. So I just went ahead and I did it. I went anyways. And I was texting this girl like, "Yo, I'm on the way." Like, I was hoping last second that she would change her mind and that she would have, been waiting for me at the airport. But yeah, I got to the airport and no answer from her. No answer at all that day. I remember getting to my hotel, just I was pretty depressed. I ain't even gonna lie. I was pretty upset. But when I was at the airport, I was talking to several girls from Mexico during this time. I was texting them and just talking to them. There was another girl that I was talking to, but I told her, "Oh, hey, I'm coming to your city." Right? I knew that this other girl lived there. And she wasn't my main option, but she was cute enough, so I said, "Hey, I'm on the way." And she's acting all excited. So, the next day when I'm in the city, she's like, "Yeah, yeah, we should hang out. Come on, let's hang." Her name was Elsie, and Elsie came, and yeah, she met me. I saw her, we hugged. She actually spoke English, and we went to go eat at a restaurant. And we're eating at this restaurant, and it's kind of awkward, and it's a little, you just met someone for the first time that you've only been texting. You don't ever think that you're gonna meet them, but we met. And she was kind of cute, right? She wasn't as hot as the girl I wanted to see, but she was still, I still wanted to get physical with her. But yeah, I don't think that she found me like as attractive as she thought. So we actually hung out for like about 4 or 5 days. I was there for a week. So me and this girl, like, I went to visit like her parents. Like, they had a ranch. Me and the girl, we actually had a really good time. And I remember we went to go to a ranch, and I held her hand on the bus, and she didn't like try to stop it. So we're holding hands. So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, this is turning into something, right? So we're on her parents' ranch, and everyone's drinking tequila, singing. It was actually really fun. They were barbecuing. I met her family. I drank some tequila. Me and her were talking, having a good time. And I kind of thought I had it in the bag. I thought, oh yeah, this chick's definitely into me, right? So it's time to go to bed, and she shows me to like my guest bedroom. And it's in Mexico, you can't sleep like in the same room with like a girl in like the family's house. It's like a custom it's like seen as disrespectful. The only time you can do that is like if you're in a relationship for a long time, or if you're married, because it's like seen as like, that the girl is being like a whore. But I go to kiss her before I go to my room, and she says no. She like stops me. She like stopped. I was like gonna kiss her, and it was just me and her in the hallway, and she said no. I'm like, yo, what? Right? Like, I thought this chick was into me. And so the next morning I wake up, I didn't say anything about it. We're talking, we go back to Guadalajara from the ranch. And I went to go hold her hand on the bus again. And okay, when we were on the bus, before I held her hand, I see this Chad. Like, I shit you not, it was a Mexican Chad. Like, this dude was like buff, tattooed. He was like good looking. This dude was like really handsome. And he was on the bus, right? I just remember seeing him. And I remember, so we're on the bus, me and the girl. I go to hold her hand, right? We're sitting next to each other. We're listening to music. I go to hold her hand, and we held it for like a second, and then she took out her, like, the headphones, and she was like, I wanted to tell you, we should just be friends. And then right after that, she tells me, that guy, the Mexican Chad, she was like, I don't know why she had to tell me this, but she said, that's my ex-boyfriend. And I was like, okay, thanks. And that bus ride was fucking awkward. It was awkward, yo. Silent the whole way back, like 40 minutes. Oh, bro, I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. I was just like, oh, dude, it hurt. So, get back, right? It was very depressed, and I was kind of hoping, I'm just going to be real. I wanted to smash. And, I was just in my hotel room by myself, just like watching YouTube. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, this sucks. This isn't what I thought. So I was even like trying to like try to get a girl to like hang out with me while I was like there. I had like that Tinder loaded up and everything, but I was just not having like the luck that I thought. So I just ended up, sticking with that girl that told me we should just be friends. And I met her the next day, and we were just gonna hang out one more day, I guess, before I left. And we just kind of walked around and she just seemed like kind of disinterested. It was pretty awkward. We walked around, we saw like this part of the city that was just, it was just part of the city. We're walking around having a good time. We had a couple drinks. And I just remember we're like sitting down in the park bench and I'm like kind of trying to like talk to her, like almost, I hadn't fully become like fleshed out as a man. Like I was just trying to like warm up to her. And I just remember she said like, all right, well, I gotta go. I was like, what? And she like called a taxi and she was just like, yeah, well, my mom needs me for something, so I have to go. And I was like, yo, like, so I just gave her a hug and like literally a taxi pulled up. She like called and I just remember she like turned around for me. She didn't like, no like big speech, no nothing. She literally just like got into the taxi, closed the door, didn't look at me, just disappeared. And I'm just like standing there. There's like all these people walking around. And I felt sad, dude. I was like, I got flaked on by the girl I actually wanted to see. The girl that I had hung out with kind of got like friendly with, I liked her personality. I thought she was cute. Had just, she just friend zoned me and just left me in the city, just took off. No messages after that. No, she never reached back out. I'm just gonna be real with myself. She just didn't like me. Something about me she just didn't like. But I just felt pretty sad. I called like an Uber. I went back to my hotel and just I just remember like smoking cigarettes in my hotel and just I was drinking like beer, a little bit of liquor. Just feeling very depressed. I just wanted to get home. I wanted to leave so bad. So I ended up going back. I got to the airport and finished that first passport bro journey. It was a disaster. And yeah, it was a disaster. I didn't expect that. I thought I was just going to have like this girl and I was gonna like have sex and stuff, and I was in a dry spell at the time. I thought I was finally gonna end my dry spell, and it just ended up not working out. I was really upset. So I put the passport bro life behind me for a little bit, started working out more and more, improving my life, starting my business, and eventually I met an American girl. And she ended up becoming my girlfriend shortly after that, which is funny. I actually ended my dry spell. I got with an American girl who was very attractive. And this chick kind of like fell in love with me, but like I said, there was just reasons why I didn't really see a long-term thing with her. And I'm not going to really go too deep into it, but this whole time I was, with this girl, I was still texting chicks from Mexico, which is funny. I actually was texting a bunch of them because I kept like matching with them on like dating apps and shit and like Facebook dating. So I was like texting all sorts of other chicks. And eventually I went back to Mexico. So I took a trip. I felt like I had like enough matches basically. This time I had improved myself quite a bit. I improved my Spanish speaking skills, and I was practicing Spanish like crazy, right? So I honestly I went on this trip not really just for women, but also to like, brush up on my Spanish and improve it. So I ended up going back. I got a bus. I got a bus back to Mexico. It was super cheap to get to this one city. So I was like, fuck it. I need a vacation. I need an adventure. So I'm just going to go back and, try again. Well, I posted like on my stories and stuff that, all right, I'm on my way to Mexico, and there was a few girls I was talking to, and I didn't know for sure. This time, the last time I fucked up, I was talking to one girl, the one that flaked on me. I was certain that she was gonna be there for me. Now this time, I was texting like 8 of them, 10 of them, right? Like 10 women. So I'm like, okay, like they all like live in this city. Like I'm texting like 10 of them. One of them has to pick up and respond or whatever. So yeah, I ended up posting like my stories like I'm going to Mexico, blah blah blah. I was planning on like meeting a couple girls there. I told them I was on the way. And yo, let me tell you something. This is why you need to like talk to like multiple before you end up going. Don't just talk to one. Out of like 10 of those chicks that were saying like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I'll see you." Right? I shit you not, like literally when I got there, half of them, like I want to say even more than half of them ended up flaking. Like they flaked. So make sure you have like that you're talking to like a good handful. Make sure like you have it like you're going to a big city and then you're talking to like 10 chicks, because you know, yeah, like literally out of 10 chicks, 5 of them fucking flaked. 5 or 6. I told them like, "Hey, I'm here, blah blah, like let's hang out." And like radio silence. They just fucking ghosted me. So the other half, so there was this one girl that really wanted to see me. Like I landed the first night, I was just tired. Like I like stayed in the hotel. Um Literally, so I wake up that next morning and one of those girls texts me and she's like, "Hey, I'm here." And I was like, "Oh fuck." Like I didn't think I was going to like meet one of them so quick. And this girl was literally like pulling up into the city. And she was like, "Hey, I'm coming to see you. Which hotel are you staying at?" So like I fucking like clean up my hotel room. I throw on my clothes and shit. I like get cleaned up and I go out and I just meet this random chick that I was like texting, and she ended up being like even more like pretty than I thought, like than in her picture. She was like even hotter in person. And there was no weird vibe. Like I met her, I hugged her, and I was like, "All right, let's go. Round two. Round two. Come on." So this chick was way hotter than like the last chick that friend zoned me. This girl I was like way more attracted to, and yeah, dude, like I held her hand like immediately after I met her. We like walked back to the hotel, and I told her, I was like, "Hey, you can stay with me." And she just, she stayed in the hotel room. She started like unpacking her stuff, and we're just talking. We're getting ready to head out and go adventure and go out in the city. And let me tell you, like this girl, we went out for some drinks and kind of like started talking. We connected like that. Like we connected real good. So I just remember like that sense of relief. Like I knew that she liked me. I could tell that she liked me, right? And that night she stayed with me in the hotel. I held her, and I cuddled with her, and I was taking it easy. I was like taking it smooth. I wasn't gonna fuck it up. So like the next day or so, we ended up going on like a badass adventure, and I kissed her. Like we went up to this fucking mountain, and there's like caves and shit, and we went into a cave, and it was fucking awesome. And we're sitting out there on the mountain, and I just grabbed her and I kissed her, and it was like super romantic. Like it was actually a really nice moment. So we yeah, the rest of the day was really nice. We were going around in taxis, going through the desert, listening to music. We were adventuring. And the rest of that trip was great. She stayed with me the whole time. And like every night she stayed with me, I was like holding her, cuddling her. And I'll say one thing, yeah, like we didn't get intimate, we didn't have sex. I wanted to, but she wanted to take it slow. But I was still happy nonetheless. I really liked her. The trip was amazing. And yeah, I was just like really, really attracted to her. So I come back to the US. I immediately started making plans to go see this chick again, but in her hometown. So I get the plane ticket. I go back, and I see she was like telling me like she wants to see me again. I go back, and yeah, dude, like that first night, I met her. I knew her. I was with her for a week that first time, and the second time. So I went back shortly after. Yeah, we got intimate that first night. So I don't know. It was just like a really, really like romantic, moment. And yeah, that trip was also really amazing. I'm not gonna get too far into it, but eventually, I went on these grand adventures with her, and she wanted to become my girlfriend. And I was kind of like against it at first. I was like, no, I just, you know, I was trying to like play that game where like I wanted to be single, but like still fuck around with her. But eventually, I just kind of, there was a whole situation where there was like another girl I was with like back in the US, and she was like trying to get me to block like the Mexican girl. An American woman was trying to get me to cut ties with the Mexican woman. The American girl wanted me, and she wanted me to block her on everything. She found out about her, and I chose the Mexican girl. I liked her more. I chose her, and now she's my girlfriend. So, and I've gone back, several times. I'm about to go back here in a week. I'm going to go spend a week with her. So, yeah, I'm a passport bro. My girlfriend is Mexican. It was quite the journey to get to that, but a few lessons that I can give you is, if you're in a bad financial position, definitely take it easy on being a passport bro, because plane tickets cost money, trips cost money, hotels cost money, adventures cost money. If you're just on your grind and you're trying to get up, like, going on a trip is going to be fun, but it's going to put you in a worse financial spot. It's affected me. You got to spend money on these plane tickets and shit. And if you meet a girl you end up falling in love with, she's going to want you to come back. You might fall in love with a girl, and you're going to want to go back and see her. So you're going to end up spending on another plane ticket. The solution to that is to leave and go to that country and be, if you want to get out of the US, if you have a digital nomad job, if you have a plan, if you have a way to make money where you don't have to be in the United States, that's great. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm trying to leave the US. I'm trying to get out of here. But yeah, you can be a full-time passport bro, or you can be a part-time passport bro. And another thing I know of passport bros, that there's two types as well. There's the guys looking for their future wife, looking for their future girlfriend. And then there's the guys that just want to smash as many chicks as possible. Hey, to each their own. If you're the guy that wants to smash as many chicks as possible, you can do that. There's guys that do that. If you're trying to find a wife, you can also do that. I would definitely say that the quality of women is higher in other countries, like, in Mexico especially, the quality of women is higher. It's easier to get matches. It's easier to. The first part of the story, that just sucked. I don't know what happened, because usually I have pretty good luck over there, but yeah, dude, it's just one of those things, man. Like, if it doesn't work out for you at first, don't give up on it. And there's countries where your success is guaranteed. Like, you could go to the Philippines. I've heard that it's fucking easy to go and slay in the Philippines. I chose Mexico because I wanted to learn Spanish. Whatever country you choose, there's going to be different challenges, of course. I haven't been to that many countries, but I plan on changing that in the future. I want to visit more countries, but I have to become financially free from the United States. Currently, I have a business. I make good money, but I'm geographically stuck here. For me to make my money, I have to stay here. So I can only do passport bro shit part-time. I'd rather travel the world, which I'm working on that. That's my new purpose. Financial freedom and freedom to travel. So, yeah, that's my passport bro experience so far. That's just a little tale, a little story, and I hope you got something out of it. But leave a comment if something similar has happened to you. If you have any questions, if you're a passport bro or if you're thinking of doing this, just leave a comment, and yeah, I'll reply. All right, subscribe, like, peace out. All right, peace.